Dolphin fans, welcome to another episode of Bottoms Up, Fins Up. Will you tell your dogs to shut their mouths?
Shut your mouths! There you go.
I didn't really mean like shut your mouths. I am Mike Brown. As always, that is Pops. Episode 12, Bottoms Up, Fins Talk Sports Network. Pops, what's going down?
Michael, just been kind of a roller coaster week. Welcome, Austin. We're always glad to have Austin Barber on the show.
Yeah.
And I think tonight I'm going to be coming in at kind of a more mellow, objective approach.
Why?
And I do want to say, once again, celebrating the 50th anniversary of the undefeated season. This week I'm going with the jersey of the Dolphins' greatest backup quarterback ever. And let's see who could tell me who number 15 was.
Earl Morrall.
Michael?
What?
My God.
No, you just said who could come up with it. I just said it was Earl Morrall.
The best backup quarterback. Hey, Evan, how are you doing? Came in when Greasy broke his ankle, and that's what Skylar, whatever his stupid last name is going to do for us Sunday.
Thompson. Wait, so what do I win?
You get to see me?
Well, I'd rather win something else, but I mean, that's fine. So Dolphins coming off a loss last week. You know, man, I got a big problem with what's going on with the Miami Dolphins. I got a big problem with it. Big problem. And I don't think, let me explain what I mean by that.
What do you mean?
Tua should be playing this weekend. He 100% should be playing this weekend. Mike McDaniel said it all, or I should say he all but said it, that his plan is not to play Tua this Sunday. He should be playing this Sunday. If he's passing all of these concussion protocols, they are playing it so safe. What's up, Russell? Thank you so much.
Russell, welcome.
Tua Tagovailoa should be playing quarterback this Sunday. Teddy Bridgewater should not have been taken out of the game this past Sunday. The NFL is starting to turn into like the not fun league is what this is turning into. Like, it's becoming so political, PC based in some aspects of the game. And I hate every single second of it. Teddy Bridgewater was taken out of the game by a spotter, 350 feet above the freaking field because he banged his head against the turf. Notice it's a tough game. It's a dangerous game. Teddy Bridgewater passed every single one of his tests. Why was he taken out of the game? Because he banged his head on the field?
Yes.
This is getting ridiculous.
It is getting ridiculous.
God.
But I think this is out of the Dolphins' hands.
No, it's not. It's absolutely not. It's not. What are they going to do?
I'm totally agreeing with Evan here about Tua. I think there is so much media on this whole thing that, Michael, they cannot play. He will play a week from Sunday night.
But okay, so let me ask you a question. And I don't disagree with you. And can you imagine, and we'll be watching the game next Sunday night against the Steelers, the pop that they're going to get. That game is in Miami. He's going to get the ovation of all ovations. But why? If he's ready to play now and all of the doctors and everybody's clearing him and he's back at practice, why is he not playing this Sunday against Minnesota?
I'll go back to what Evan just said. It's out of their hands. This is total. You can roll your eyes, but it is.
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm not rolling my eyes at you, right?
No, I know what you're rolling, but Evan is right. They're just a piece in all this right now. A lot of people, media, teams, players think they brought this on themselves. I'm not saying I do, you do, but it is what it is. He's got to sit out. We'll win Sunday. If you would have told me at the beginning of the year we'd be 4-2 after this schedule, I would have said I'll take it all day.
Yeah, but who knows? I said that they would have won this past weekend, and they got their heads kicked in. We haven't even talked about the defense. Let's get to the defense from this past Sunday.
The last time I looked, I don't think Skylar Thompson, besides that one stupid airball interception, was responsible for a lot of those touchdowns.
Well, I don't disagree. I'm just telling you that Josh Boyer, that defensive coordinator, sucks.
Santos.
He sucks. Josh Boyer is terrible. And you know what? My apologies to him and his family if they're watching this show right now. You suck at your job. You're not good right now. And I get it. You don't have your guy. You don't have Byron Jones. You don't have Xavier Howard. That's fine. I get that. Why is Javon Holland not blitzing the quarterback like he did multiple times last year? Why is Brandon Jones not blitzing nearly as much? And if you tell me it's because the corners aren't good enough to stay on an island, I get that. But that's the only way this defense works because your linebackers are not good. I love Landon Roberts, went to the University of Houston, love my guy. He's not very good. Jalen Phillips is not showing out like he needs to be on a week in, week out, play in, play out basis. They're not getting enough from their defense right now. And to get their asses kicked like they did against the Jets is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And somebody needs, look, I get it. They're 3-2, but that defense this entire year has not been good.
The safeties are not going to blitz like they did last year until you get either. Okay, I'm going to say this.
Say it.
I think Jones, I don't know what the deal is, but I keep hearing.
Wait, which Jones are you talking about?
Byron Jones.
Oh, Byron Jones. Okay. Yeah.
I keep hearing that there's some corner for Washington that wants out.
William Jackson. Whose house? Coon's house. I like it.
I'm just saying, Byron Jones just might be collateral damage in this whole thing. And yeah.
What did Torrance say in Bring It On when she shows up at the dorm room and she finds Aaron with another woman and she goes, bye-bye. That's what Byron Jones needs to do. Bye-bye. Get out of Miami. Good riddance. See you later. Sayonara. As the Jews in the homeland would say, shalom. As they would say in Hawaii, aloha. As they would say in Italy, ciao. Goodbye. See you later.
You still got to go back. Besides Melvin Ingram, we're not getting a lot of pressure on the quarterbacks. And Evan, Ogun Phillips need a map.
Yeah, I mean, Christopher Columbus needs to lend them one of his maps to try and find a quarterback at this point. But I'll tell you this, and Evan makes a good point. That missed field goal against the Jets was the turning point in the game. It was the turning point. You don't miss that field goal. You're up 1 point, and all of a sudden, don't give me this. We're going to get to the Jets game because I want your take on this. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Good friend of the show, Steve Gibo. The Jets have y'all in shambles. Okay, congrats, Steve. You beat us with our third-string quarterback and without our top two corners. Congrats. Losing to that Mickey Mouse of a team is unacceptable. Am I correct, Pops? Are we on the same page there?
Well, if we lost to Mickey Mouse, what does that make us?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that makes us Minnie Mouse or, Pluto the dog. And look, I love Steve. Steve's my guy.
Steve is our guy. We love Steve.
My brother, the best bowler on the team, the pocket pounders every Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, pounding pockets. But I'm just saying, I'm a little fired up about how one of their clown of a players who's going to end up working at CVS in a couple of weeks, doing the cheetah or the Tyreek Hill peace sign. Like that, whatever. Congrats. The Jets won their Super Bowl this past Sunday. Come on. You know what? Act like you've been there before. I mean, I don't know how I can say that because our team's never been there in my lifetime.
Not in your or Steve's lifetime either.
That's fair. That's entirely fair. That's fun. We'll see him in Miami when they get that ass kicking in Miami. It's gonna be cool. Don't worry about it.
You were talking about the safeties. The blitz that Brandon Jones did last week and got like a 18, 19-yard sack.
Yeah.
That was out of the ordinary. And until you get, and I think we'll have X back on Sunday. But let's get to Sanders real quick, because you and I were talking about this last week. It was 1917.
Yep.
He misses.
It changed the game.
He misses the field goal. It gives the Jets the ball at midfield. Let's pretend. Let's just say at that point, we're up by 1.
It's a totally different game.
You're kicking off to the Jets. They're not starting at the 50. They might take the ball and ram it down our throats anyway.
They were doing it.
That's
It's fair. Props to the Jets. The Jets were doing it. You couldn't stop the run.
Sanders, he's missed a couple of fairly clutch kicks this year.
He's 2-8 in his last 8+ 50-yard field goals. That's not good.
No.
It's not good.
Not when you got some backup for, I forgot who it was last week, kicked a 59-yard field goal.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, the bottom line is they lost last week. I'm going to call this a must-win game because this gets you back into the conversation. Right now in the power rankings, they're number 11. You play the Steelers next week on Sunday Night Football. You got Minnesota this week. Then you have Detroit on the road, and then you have Chicago on the road. Those are all winnable games.
Very much.
Winnable games. And John says it should never have got to that. This O-line holds us back. Yeah, I mean, look, but the thing is, the offensive line, and Brett, who was on the show a couple of weeks ago, has talked about the offensive line. I'm a little bit higher on the offensive line because Raheem Mostert, I should say the run block scheme for the O-line is getting better. I mean, Mostert is doing his thing. Chase Edmonds stopped dropping the damn ball. I'm just saying the offensive line is not as bad. Like, people have to realize that Skylar Thompson ain't it. He ain't it. We're being listened to in South Carolina right now. Very exciting.
Maryland, welcome.
Yeah, and Conca Mike. I'm just saying, man, like, there's certain aspects of this team right now, like, they need a pick-me-up. Like, they need – like, I hope even if Tua doesn't play on Sunday, which obviously I don't think he will, if he's on the sideline, it gives the guys a little boost. He was at practice on yesterday. It looks like the team got a boost with him there. Like, the vibes are all of a sudden better. Do you buy into that, or do you think that's hot dog water?
I totally buy into it, first of all. These guys are grown men. They're professionals. You shouldn't have to give them a rah-rah speech at halftime, at the beginning of the game. Oh, Evan, interesting point here. We'll get to that in a minute. I think they feed off of Tua, and I'm going to tell you, my MVP for Sunday will be Skylar Thompson in a semi-upset win. And don't shake your head like the rest of those bandwagon whiners out there.
You're talking to me? I know you ain't talking to me. I know you're not bringing
a chance to work with the first team this week.
Come on, man.
He didn't have Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill last week. What are you talking about?
No, not for the whole game. He didn't.
Okay, I get what you're saying. If he plays the whole week, but he's banged up. Armstead's banged up. Skylar, it's not Skylar's fault. First of all, I feel so weird calling my quarterback Skylar. Can we change his name? I want to change his name. I needed a Yom Kippur to be this past week because I have a lot to repent for after Sunday. That's fair. That's entirely fair, Evan. No, first of all, don't lump me in with these people that you're going. Don't lump me in. Easy-E. I don't disagree with Evan's point there. I think, bringing him out. Where is Cedric Wilson? Like, we spent all this money on Cedric Wilson. He's not doing anything.
Well, there was an interesting on Bleacher Report. I was reading one of the comments that Easy-E needs to be activated because it seems like, John, him and Thompson had just a nice rapport going, and they had some chemistry going in the preseason,
This is not true. I spent most of the Sunday staring at the Hooters waitress. That, first of all, it has nothing to do with it. What he's describing, Pops, is what we were looking around at the televisions that were there, trying to check out all of the games, get updates on the scores. I think that's what Austin's trying to say.
Or you could have been checking out the genius girl that kept turning our TV off. And we were watching some Hitler show or Auschwitz or something.
Okay, I was definitely watching the game. That is totally unsubstantiated rumors. Okay, you are fake news. No, man. Let's look ahead. Let's look ahead to Sunday. Right. Name of the game. You've got to slow down Justin Jefferson. If Xavier Howard plays, I think the Dolphins win this game on Sunday. I really do.
I do too.
I think. But if X doesn't play, the Dolphins are in trouble. I feel like because Justin Jefferson could have 25 catches for 474 yards.
Do you care if we win?
No, I don't. Okay. Come on, man. I did not leave with a 2023 Hooters calendar. Not for $15. I didn't.
How much did you pay for it?
Zero.
Okay.
The reason the O-line sucks is because Eichen sucks. Bring in Dieter. I don't disagree with that. Go Astros, absolutely. No, look, I mean, give me two keys to the game on Sunday for you. Why do you think the Dolphins win Sunday? If so, why?
And I'm not being a homer,
yeah,
but I say no, I'm not. Well, yeah, maybe. Yes, they win. And I think we win because I think the defense finally shows up, gets after Cousins, and you can always count on Cousins to make a bonehead play.
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
I liked what I saw out of the running game last week, and I think if Thompson works the field, don't try to be Marino, works the short game to Hill and to Waddle. Yes, I think we're better than Minnesota. But I want to ask your opinion now. Seriously, what do you think is up with? Could Gesicki be used to go get William Jackson?
I don't think it's going to cost you Gesicki. Jackson's not that good. I mean, Jackson's best years are behind him. It's probably going to cost you. My guess is he gets moved for a fourth round pick, third or fourth, not a third. I'd say a fourth or a fifth. You wouldn't need to trade Gesicki long term. And I don't, Chicago's playing well right now. I think, Gesicki and a pick for Roquan Smith in Chicago. I still think that that's the move. I think you address the offensive line in the offseason. I think Tua is going to be your quarterback going into next year. The Dolphins they lost their first round pick because Stephen Ross, tampered and figured out a way to get fined and suspended and still not, get his guys. So we lost our first round pick, used the San Francisco pick on another offensive lineman, continue to rebuild the line. So no, I don't think it would cost you Gesicki to get William Jackson, but Gesicki's on his way out. I mean,
I have a question for our hundreds of listeners. And
1,000. It's in the thousands at this point, but yeah, go ahead.
I'm just playing.
No, Steve
Malloy. Okay. I'm just playing what if, okay? What is the thought process out there if Tua is not the answer? Yes. If Tua ends up being, this is just a what if, Tua ends up being hurt constantly, what is the thought out there of Lamar Jackson as our quarterback next year? Don't comment. I want to see what the hundreds of people say. That's all.
Why do you want Lamar Jackson? In all honesty, give me a legitimate reason why you want Lamar Jackson.
Well, let's see, because you're not going to get Josh Allen. You're not getting Justin Herbert. You're not getting Mahomes. Rodgers is too old. Brady is older than me.
So you want it? No.
You don't want Garoppolo. So
that's it.
Why wouldn't you want Jackson?
Because you still haven't given me a reason. All you've given me are guys that they're not going to go get. Okay, I get that. But when I ask you why, you can't. Your first answer
I think his passing has gotten better. I think he's got a better arm. You were at the game in Baltimore. Is that guy not an athletic freak?
He's an athletic freak. He will not win you a Super Bowl. And the money that you're going to have to pay him, you can't forget, man, you're still going to have to. So let me ask you this. If you sign Lamar Jackson, you all but lose Christian Wilkins. You're probably not going to be able to re-sign, I'm trying to think, Raekwon Davis. You're going to lose some dudes off of this team. Are you prepared to do that to sign a guy?
I'm prepared to get rid of $24 million right now and get rid of Byron. There's $24 million right there. Now, see, Austin, And it's interesting. Well, first of all, Austin making a good comment is interesting, but
Rude.
he's right.
Rude.
Lamar is
He's good.
He's a difference maker, and I don't believe you'll lose all those guys. I think you get rid of Landon Roberts. I think you get rid of Byron Jones. I get rid of Sanders if he doesn't pick it up.
Yeah, but come on, you're talking about on the edge guys. You're not talking about money makers. Christian Wilkins is a money maker. He's a player for you. You're gonna have to lose him. You're gonna lose.
Why do you have to lose him?
Because you can't afford to pay Armstead, Hill, Lamar Jackson. Like, it doesn't work, man.
I don't know. I see a lot of things out there.
Evan makes a good point. What has Lamar won outside of individual awards, which no one cares about? You will not find anybody.
No, he has not won a Super Bowl.
He ain't won anything. He hasn't even been to an AFC title game.
Okay, what has Josh Allen won?
I mean, that's fair.
What is Justin Herbert won?
That's fair. It's a very fair point. But both of those guys you can't get. But let me ask you a question. So you want to play this what if game? I'll play this what if game.
I'm just throwing it out there. That's all.
I hear you. I'm just asking you this. So you wouldn't take a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo on this team?
Oh, Michael, I would rather have Ray Charles on this team than Garoppolo.
Why? Why would you not want to pair the guy who just went to two?
Cannot even
hold on.
Ahead of
hold on. He literally just went to 2 NFC title games with your head coach. So you don't want to bring in a guy who A is not going to cost you nearly as much money. Like, people talk about money. You can, flex with the salary cap, and good GMs can, flex the salary cap and make it work in their favor. It's still money you'd have to pay. You're telling me that you wouldn't pay Garoppolo $80 million guaranteed versus Lamar Jackson's $200 million plus?
I wouldn't give him $80 million guaranteed. No way.
Garoppolo?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Something in that ballpark, though. And I'm just saying, look, I'm throwing this out there. Listen, go out. I said it in the offseason before, on Beer Sports, whatever, before you and I were doing this show. If Tua can show that he can be the guy, go build him the biggest freaking offensive line you have ever seen in your life. And they've started it.
I want him. I want him to be the answer. I have a jersey.
That's not fair. You've got so many jerseys, you could outfit the entire neighborhood.
Yeah, but half the guys are dead.
That's fair.
I want him to succeed. I don't want to have to go out and start all over again. You wouldn't be starting over. If you brought in another quarterback, you would.
No, you wouldn't. Not if you brought in Garoppolo. Garoppolo is honestly an option. Let me ask you this. Do you believe in McDaniel long term?
I believe in McDaniel.
Long term?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, I asked and you didn't.
Yes.
I thought you weren't saying long term. Okay, you believe in him long term. Why not pair him with a guy who he had a tremendous amount of success with if you're going to replace Tua, which I don't believe they're going to.
I don't either.
Then let's move on.
Okay, fine.
All right. Let's move on then.
Lamar Jackson. But okay, go ahead.
You're not gonna let it go, are you? Did you hear the rumor on the guys removing the ping pong table from the locker room?
Which one? The one where McDaniel was proud of the captains, or where Tyreek Hill came out today and said, "Oh no, I'm just replacing it with a newer, better one"? Which one? Which rumor?
I don't care. I mean, I heard both. It doesn't matter. Listen, they could go in there. They could play. They could play, darts with axes. If they win games, I don't care what the hell they do in the locker room. If you want my honest assessment of the situation.
No, I don't. I think you hear stupid things like that
all the time.
The team is not doing well.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, look, you're not wrong. And I do think, McDaniel so far has gotten a pretty raw first 5 games. I mean, the amount of injuries he's had to deal with, the amount of injuries that he's had to deal with, the amount of drama that he's having to deal with. It's unfair to McDaniel, but that's the job.
It's you go through things, and he was, you're 3-0 and you're thinking, wow, this is pretty good. Now you're 3-2. You're on a 2-game losing streak. You're catching flack. There's going to be a happy medium in there. I'm still sticking to 11-6. I'm still sticking to it.
People have to remember though, and it's a catch-22. If you are a sane Dolphins fan, which most of us are, I think, do yourself a favor. Do not join the Facebook support fan groups, because these guys, I'm telling you, I mean, are out of their freaking minds. I mean, these guys are, I mean, you and I are outside of our minds. You know, the fact that, you know, you made a kid almost fall out of his chair at Hooters when you're screaming at the TV that we're losing to the Jets. How in the world can we be doing this?
Look, his parents should have been watching him better. That's not on me.
Look,
it was Austin's turn to watch that kid.
I mean, that's true. I am going to say, Dolphin fans, enjoy Sunday, because the Dolphins will win Sunday. Give me your official prediction before we wrap the show up.
I'm going with 27-17.
Yeah, I'm going to go 28-24 Dolphins.
Oh, God, my heart can't take that.
28-24 Dolphins. Before we wrap up, let's go around the NFL. Dan Snyder, did you see that story today? How if he's threatening the rest of the NFL that he has the goods on them, and if they go after him, he's going to burn the league to the ground. Your thoughts?
I would read that book. First of all, if he wrote that book, I would read it. I think Snyder's a sleazebag. I think Bob Kraft is a sleazebag. I think Stephen Ross is a sleazebag. Snyder needs 24. He only needs 24 yays not to get booted. You know, Evan's right. Snyder makes Ross look like Mother Teresa. I think Snyder needs to go. Yes, Austin, it is 8:30.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think all these guys. First of all, Dan Snyder's a clown, and the Commanders, that whole organization is such a bleep show. I would still love to see it happen. Like, I'd still love to see him pull those receipts on everybody in the league. Like, I would so be here for that. And the thing is, man, we're Dolphin fans, right? I don't root. I'm at the point now where I'm done rooting for individual players. Like, we root for the team. You know, we root for the Miami Dolphins. We are Dolphin fans. You know, we're getting on a plane in a couple of weeks and going to Detroit to watch this team. I'm going to Chicago to go watch the Bears game, which should be a fun time.
Burr.
Yeah, it's cold in here. There must be some Dolphins in the atmosphere. You like what I did there? Yeah, you did.
Yeah, that was a good segue.
Yeah, you liked what I did. But so before we wrap up, we've got two big-time, massive announcements for the show. We have booked not one, but two incredibly awesome guests for the next couple weeks. First, next week, next Thursday, 7 o'clock, we will give our thoughts on Evan or on Davante Adams here in just a second, too, Pops, before we wrap up. Next Thursday, 7 o'clock, we have Nick Farabaugh, who is the Steelers and University of Pittsburgh beat writer for Pittsburgh's Sports Now. He's also the host of Locked on Pitt, production assistant for the ACC Network. So next Thursday, 7 o'clock, Nick Farabaugh will be joining the show 2 weeks from tonight, and that's to break down next week's Steelers game on Sunday Night Football. So next Thursday, 7 o'clock, Nick Farabaugh of Locked on Pitt, ACC Network, big time get for us and of PGH Now. Secondly, we have booked Benjamin Raven 2 weeks from tonight, 7 o'clock, to break down all things Dolphins, Lions. He is a Detroit Lions official beat reporter. So he covers all things Detroit Lions. Next 2 weeks, massive big-time guests. So
those are good gets, man. Way to go.
Yeah, well, you and I, man, we're doing our thing. Make sure to tell your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle. Last thoughts on Davante Adams shoving the cameraman to the ground in the game this past weekend for our wrapping up around the NFL segment.
I'm going to segue that. I think that's as despicable as what Draymond Green did to Jordan Poole.
You can't put it in the same category.
Why?
Come on. You can't.
You can't do that. A, you cannot push a cameraman. No, you can't do it. B, you cannot go up to a teammate and punch him in the face.
I don't disagree. First of all, the cameraman literally was running right in front of him. I get the frustration. The guy suing him, that's a little much for me. Like, let Davante Adams slide into the DMs, send you some money, send you some autograph gear, and move on with your lives. Like, oh, come on. Davante was worse than Draymond. Draymond literally cocked his fist and punched the dude in the face. Davante Adams, it was a little shove. It was a little how's your mother? Like, I'm sorry. Like, hey, get out of my way. Come on, man. You can't compare the two.
I love Steve, man. I got to tell you. But I do have a question. Let me ask you a question, though.
Yes, Satan.
This is half in fun, but what do you think about that moronic goober who ran onto the Rams field 2 weeks ago? Bobby Wagner stepped out. Bobby Wagner said, we didn't know if he was carrying something, if he had a bomb. I had to take care of it. And now he wants to sue because he claims he's got a concussion.
We, like guys like you and I and Steve and Austin and Evan and John, we are a dying breed, man. Like, I was taught, you go to a game, you sit in your seats, you cheer for your team. Well, unless you're going to a game with Lewis Brown where you like to, jab a little bit at the other team, a little jab, right?
I don't punch him in the face.
No, you don't punch him I
don't push him.
But here's the thing, right? Like, respect the game, man. Like, Austin makes a good point. Dude's a twig. Like, these guys are nothing. Like, stay away from the field. And Bobby Wagner, good for you. Davante Adams, I get it's a thing. But how often are you going to, a little shove. Yeah, okay, it's a little shove. It's nothing. It's ridiculous. I think it's part of the wussification of America where these people do it because they know if they can get that perfect reaction like Davante Adams shoving him. And I don't think the cameraman did it on purpose. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the guy, the animal rights activist who ran onto the field. He did that for notoriety. He did that to get his cause out there. There's better ways to do it. And I'm not going to say we're doing this, but like there's very easy ways to try and buy numbers for shows. There's very easy ways to go to Twitter. Twitter is a free app. How long? For how long? I don't know. But, I could go tweet 1 million times a day to people trying to goat them into a conversation to try and get numbers for a show. That ain't me. Like, we bootstrap. You know what I mean? Like, you taught me. You and mom taught me. We grow it from the ground up. We don't whine about it. We go do it. And if we don't do it right, then we work harder. Like, that's not what these people are doing nowadays. And it sucks. I hate to see it. Davante Adams guy, whatever. You got shoved. You're fine. Get up. Rub some dirt on it. You move on.
Write the guy a check for $500,000 and
you are out of your mind. You think that's worth $500,000?
Oh, he'll get at least $500,000. Adams shoved an innocent person doing their job because he was pissed because he lost the game. Poole had been talking shit with Green, and Poole shoved him first.
It's a fair point. Look, it's a fair point. Steve.
He shoved
I get it.
I'm talking to Steve.
I barely touched him. All right, Pops, this was fun. If you're watching the show right now and you guys want to hang out for another show, Dolphin fans, you may not be familiar with the previous experience of Pops and I. We hosted a show called Beer Sports Whatever. Tonight, Pops is going to give we're doing a March Madness style bracket of 64 Halloween candies. Pops picks his winners, and we literally will go into depth of every single game. We are going to have so much fun tonight. One night only. Beer, sports, whatever is back, baby. 8:30, 54 minutes from now. Are you excited? I'm kind of excited. I'm not going to lie to you.
I got to get the wardrobe ready, baby.
Oh, man, we got wardrobe. We got gifts to give away. BSW, my Facebook, my Twitter. But most importantly, make sure to hit that smash and follow and like button. Finns Talk Sports Network. We're doing so much amazing content right now on the network. We got the No Holds Barred podcast, Alex Ryan and Alfred doing their thing. We got the bandwagon with Evan. We've got Steve. We got so many dudes doing so many different amazing projects right now. Finns Talk Sports Network. Find us on Twitter at Finns Talk Network. Again, next Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Incredible guest, Nick Faribaugh of the ACC Network, Locked On Pitt. We're going to talk all things Steelers, Dolphins. Going to be an incredible show next Thursday. Make sure to join us. It is 7:37. JETS SUCK. OU still sucks. And until next time, Dolphin fans.
Jason Sanders will kick a very clutch field goal this Sunday. Dolphin fans, thank you for listening. It's been our extreme pleasure. And take it away, Michael.
Fins up, baby!